I was volunteering yesterday and I went to grab these metal trays that were stuck together. I was like trying to pull them apart really hard and ended up kind of cutting up one of my hands. And I started like bleeding, and so I'm over by the hose, like washing my hand off, putting hand sanitizer on it or soap or something, washing it again. Then I remembered I had a Band-Aid, so I'm like in my car trying to put a Band-Aid on it with some of this moisturizer. And then all of a sudden, I'm like out of nowhere, I feel like I'm about to pass out. I'm like feeling extremely nauseous, way lightheaded, just like keeled over in the front of my car, sweating profusely. Just like, and you know, the deeper you go, the more you just identify as consciousness itself. So I wasn't like consciously freaking out. I was like more holding space for the part of me that was freaking out, for like the subconscious terror that got provoked, from just seeing a little bit of blood. And I hadn't had that reaction since I was like in the 4th grade when they came to our school, that reaction with blood. Anyways, when they would come to our school and I was all gung-ho about, they were coming to our school so we could donate blood. And I was all gung-ho about it. I almost hit the deck, in 4th grade. Saw some blood, freaked out. And much like then, yesterday it was very involuntary. It was like consciously I was like, yeah, it's some blood, washing it off. Let's go get a Band-Aid on it so we can get back to volunteering. And then just like out of nowhere, I'm literally keeled over in my car, about to like feeling like, oh, I might pass out here. Like, let me make sure I'm comfortable in case I pass out. And it was so interesting, how like not being identified with the body, when you deepen and deepen and deepen, you truly start to just become identified with consciousness itself. Or you start to really live from more of the soul level and the soul perspective, you could say, the soul depth, whatever. And so, but that means you're still there for the body. You're still in your body. You love and appreciate the body. You treat it as a sacred vessel. So this isn't like any type of bypass or anything like that at all. But so when something like this happens, when the body just involuntarily goes into a reaction because life has kind of provoked a subconscious energy to come rushing to the surface, you more are just holding space for the experience. It wasn't like in 4th grade when I was about to hit the deck that I got super identified with the fear. I thought I was the fear. I didn't know what the hell was going on, But it was interesting having this reaction at the level of consciousness I'm at now. I was able to see it for what it really was, which was the divine helping to clear deep, deep repressed subconscious terror, probably the fear of death, And sometimes when stuff's ready to come out, it's not. If it didn't get provoked by blood, it would have gotten provoked by something 2 hours later or something else a week later. It's like when something's ready to come up and out, life's gonna find a way to kind of just like sometimes it's like the reaction to the trigger is so much bigger on the spiritual path, right? Because it's really not about the trigger. It's just about life wants to move something through your system. It's time. You have the spaciousness. You have the light available to meet the darkness, to meet the terror, or whatever the energy is that wants to be integrated. And that was the case yesterday. I was feeling in a very high vibration, super spacious, lots of joy. Where I was volunteering happened to be in one of the most spiritual towns on earth. So it's just like there's a very special energy there, a very powerful light there that's so ripe to help, to help one clear through karma or clear through shadow. And so just a combination of things yesterday, it's like getting chills right now saying this. It's like there was this part of me, this darkness that was like, oh, I can be seen now. There's enough light to be seen. It's like there's enough light to come up. And sometimes that's how it is on the path. We cultivate light, we come more into our power, and that's when we get to meet the big stuff. And we get to clear the big frozen chunks that have been just deeply, deeply buried in the subconscious. And you could look at it as something from your childhood or past life, or just something that was passed down through ancestral DNA, through genetics, that's just in your cells from your parents and your grandparents and so on. And so wherever this terror came from, it was time for it to be seen. It was ready to be seen. And my body was ready to be free of it. And so, we could say, oh, the body went into a reaction because it saw blood. But as consciousness itself, what I was noticing is, wow, my body is releasing a lot of terror right now. This is a huge amount of terror that's been suppressed and that I've been working on day after day, bringing presence to, bringing love to, bringing softness to. I've been just slowly digesting it. But right now there's this big opening. I'm in a spiritual vortex. I'm in a really high vibration. I've got lots of light. I've got lots of spaciousness for it. And it was just like a perfect combination of events. I'm getting so many chills in this video. And then all this subconscious stuff came up. And so you might be noticing that in your own experience, is you might be noticing out of nowhere, you're just in a car about to pass out. Or you know what I mean? Like out of nowhere, holy shit, you're in your bed on the fetal position. Like, what's going on? This is crazy. This is intense. This is life clearing energy. And right now it seems like there's so much light on earth that it's going to be hard for any repressed darkness to not be seen, to not, come up, to be released, to be integrated, alchemized, however you want to feel into it. And so it was so interesting just feeling like, what in the heck? And then I realized, oh yeah, this is just so much terror clearing. And so take care of yourselves right now. Like I know for me, after that happened, I just like went and sat under a tree, put my hands on earth. I went and got a really like comfort food type of sandwich, because this can be ungrounding. It can be ungrounding when so much is coming up to be released. These times can be very ungrounding in general. So take good care, blankets, stay warm, stay cozy. We're moving into the fall season. Slow down for your body, because your body's doing a lot of work right now. It's going through a lot of upgrades. It's moving a lot of energy. I know what's been helpful for me since that happened, because I've been like, since yesterday, I've been like, yeah, I need some rest, because oh my gosh, my nervous system just did a lot of work, right? So I've been resting, drinking my favorite coconut water. Today I went down and just sat by the stream, and I let the water, just the sound of the water, just sitting next to the water, I let it like kind of help me come back into my body. I get a lot of questions about disassociation as well. And one of the things about disassociation, this all applies. Like being in nature, slowing down, helping the body feel safe, right? And so I just wanted to share that personal story because I felt like it might relate to something in a way that you guys are going through, where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're just feeling like big energies are coming up, and it can be a lot. Maybe you're not on the verge of like passing out. Maybe you are, I don't know. But I just wanted to really reframe this for you in a really positive light, that this is a very good thing. And I noticed that in real time yesterday, as I was holding space for my body, as I was purging massive amounts of terror. I noticed like, wow, I'm releasing something really deep here, really, really deep. And I felt it especially in the heart center, the lower heart, the solar plexus, and the deeper belly. You could even say the hara. So notice that there might be lots of stuff coming up in those areas for you, maybe even for a lot of you in the throat, in the third eye, out up through the crown. Wherever you're feeling energy moving, just know like light is coming in and darkness is leaving. And if you're feeling like like I had, like just, you know, something kind of trivial happens, but all of a sudden you're having a bigger reaction. It's not really about the trigger. It's just about like how life's finding a way to move energy through you. And just know, like, so the body might be having big reactions to things right now. It's just that's the energy right now on earth. The energy right now on earth is a liberating energy. It wants us to be more free, to be more in touch with who we really are. And it's clearing the fear programs. It's clearing the conditioning. It's clearing ancestral trauma. It's moving it all out. And that can happen in a number of different ways. And sometimes it can be a little dramatic. And I was trying not to be so dramatic. I didn't really say anything about it to anyone until after some time had passed. Because you get really good at holding space for yourself after a certain amount of time, to where it's like you see you fully. But I did tell one of the ladies who was telling me about how the veil in that town is really thin between, the non-physical and the physical, and I told her what I felt it was, and she's like, yeah. And it was like things you just never expect. And both times I went to that town, to that energy vortex, I've had massive clearings of karmic stuff happen. It's just like some places are just really special that way, and they offer such beautiful support. And it might not feel like support in the moment when you're like, what the hell is this? And that's sometimes when we're clearing a lot, it can be really difficult. It can feel downright brutal. And the mind will say, this can't be a good thing. But I promise you, this darkness is coming up and out. Light's coming in, darkness is coming up and out. Keep the faith, stay connected to your strength, and just really root into these empowered perspectives, because they will help you during these times, and they're crucial. And take good care of yourself. All right, sending you guys so much love. Thanks for all your support. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.